What's up, guys? Justin here with the SketchUpEssentials.com. So in today's video, we're checking out a brand new extension that can quickly generate floor and wall tile inside of SketchUp. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. All right, so Custom Ground Wizard is a brand new extension from CG Wisdom. And so there's actually two versions of this. There's a free version, which I highly recommend you download and try out because it's pretty awesome. There's also a paid version that gives you access to additional patterns, right? So the free version comes with, I think, the plane grid and the offset brick bond. And then you can also get the more advanced layouts like the herringbone and the hexagon with the paid version. So you can check out the paid version by going to cgwisdom.com. You can actually link to it right here, and there's actually a link at the very top of the page, or you can just go to plugins and look at Custom Ground Wizard. And so you've got options of either 1 year of access to the pro version or unlimited access. I mean, to me, the unlimited access seems like kind of a no-brainer if this is a tool that you want to use, but you can download the free version and check it out either way. And so basically the way this works is when you download it, and I'm going to show the pro version, but the free version kind of looks the same, right? The free version is just going to have a couple patterns in here, and then these are all marked as kind of the pro version. And then if you install the pro version right here, then you're just going to have access to the other patterns. But basically the way this works is you can select a surface, then you can select a pattern, right? And you can click. There's other options in here as well, which we'll take a look at in a minute. But at its very simplest, this is going to take a surface and it's going to generate a pattern in here based on a surface that you have selected. Well, the cool thing about this is actually generating three-dimensional tile, right? It's not just adding or marking up the face or adding a texture. It's actually generating the 3D tiles in here. One cool thing about this is not only does this work on shapes like this one, it's also going to work on more complex shapes. So, for example, if I select this surface right here and selected generate, it's going to come in here and it's going to generate this tile on that surface, and it follows along with the surface nicely. Now, another cool thing about this is you can also do this on more complex faces, right? So if I select this right here, it's going to come in here and it's going to add the tile to this surface. Now we have two options in the free version and then the other patterns, right? So you've got the tile or the grid, and then you've also got the brick, right? And so in this case, say that we were to pick the brick, well, that's going to create this kind of like offset version right here. So if I click on generate, it's going to generate that based on offset versions of this. Well, another cool thing here is you can adjust the length and the width. Now, one thing I don't think you can do is I don't think you can adjust it to imperial units, at least as of right now. These look like they're kind of in here as millimeters, which is okay if that's what you use. You might just have to do some math in order to get it to generate what you want if you're using imperial. But you can adjust things like the length and the width. So say you wanted this to be extra long, right? We could just type in a value of 500, leave the width at 65, and then generate this right here. And notice how these got a lot longer. So you could actually use this to generate kind of like a wood floor in here if you wanted to do that. So in addition, we also have the ability to set the row offset. So if we run this with the row offset, that's going to give you a bigger offset between the two different rows in here, right? So it's going to give you kind of like a different result in here if you wanted to do this. Now, this would probably be more effective if we made the length a little bit smaller. So we might go back to that 250 right here. We're going to generate that. Got to make sure you select your face in here. But you can see how this allows you to do different offsets in here depending on what you want, which is pretty cool. Now, the random function is fun because it's going to randomize that offset on each one of these. So they're not going to be the same on every one of these. Now, there's some places where you might want to do that. I don't know that this is necessarily one of them, but I could see myself wanting to do randomization in here of the tiles. And so other things you can do is you can also adjust the grout depth and width, right? So if I select this right here, and we'll pick the herringbone, which is a pro version. But if you set the grout depth to something very narrow, as well as the grout width, right, then these are going to be a lot flatter. So in this case, if I click on generate right here, that's going to create something that's going to have kind of a flatter look to it. You can see how it only goes up a little bit. And in this case, what it's doing is it's generating these shapes and then it's offsetting them in based on the bevel size. So you could get a different result in here by selecting a surface like so. And in this case, we're going to set our bevel size to more like 4 millimeters, and we'll set our grout depth to 4 as well, right? That's going to make it taller and give it more of a bevel. So now if I generate that, notice how that's a much more pronounced bevel. And it looks like in at least one case, it's got some kind of like offset going on over here, but that's probably more bevel than you would generally want. But overall, it's handling this face fairly well. So if you do want something that's got kind of like a thicker tile with more bevel, you can definitely do that using this tool. And I do want to take a look at some of these other options because they're kind of fun. So this one, for example, let's say that we've got a space that's got kind of an arc to it, like so. So let's say we had a space like this one. And let's say we wanted to pick maybe this tile right here, the corset tile, right? And you can set the level of detail that's in here. Now, I would be careful, especially on larger areas. The more detail you add, the longer this is going to take. I'm also going to bump my grout depth back down to something that's a little bit more realistic. Same with my bevel, right? So maybe like a 2 and a 1 right here. But if we take this, generate on this surface, notice what that's going to do is that's going to come in here and that's going to generate this so that it follows along with the curve. And the cool thing about this is this does a really good job of following along with the curve, right? Even though this is a really large, complex shape, notice how this generated a lot of geometry. So you definitely want to be a little bit careful with when you use something like this. But overall, that did a really good job. And one of the things that I like about this extension is you can visually see what it's doing, right? Like a lot of older versions of extensions like this or other tools, they just kind of like spin. And I don't know what they've done on this one in order to make it do this, but this will actually generate that in here and you can see it as it goes. So you know that it hasn't like crashed or locked up on you or anything like that. And so now let's say that we had a shape like this one. And what I want to do is I want to pick one of these other tiles. So maybe we go back to our original grid right here, but notice how there's an option in here to set your grid rotation angle, right? So in this case, I want this to be rotated 45 degrees. So what that's going to do is instead of putting this on here flat, if I click on generate, that's actually going to put this on here at a 45-degree angle, which is really cool because you can set that rotation to whatever you want. Now there's a couple other options in here, which could be kind of helpful. So in this case, say that you had a shape or a floor that needed rotation in here, like this one. So I'm going to set this and rotate it 45 degrees. Well, what you can do is instead of setting your grid rotation like this, what you can do is you can select a face and an edge in order to specify the starting point and the direction, right? So if I click on generate right here, notice what that does is that orients this along that edge. So say that we had something more like this shape right here. Depending on the way that you selected this, you could set this so that it's oriented along this edge, like so. Or if I undo this, you could select this edge and the face, and notice how then it's oriented based on this face in here, or this edge instead. So you can set that to kind of whatever you want in here. And so you can select a face and multiple edges in order to set where the tile is going to start, right? Because if I click on this face right here, I click on generate, bring this bevel size back down. If I click on generate right here, right, it's going to set this. It'll just kind of start it wherever. And so what that does is that means that over here on the right-hand side, right here, this is where your tiles kind of have to get cut, right? Because just conceptually, this is where your tiles need to get cut because conceptually your tiles have a certain width. And so if this doesn't align with that width, then you're going to have to cut those tiles somewhere. Well, if you selected these two edges, and then this face, what it would do is you would use this intersection point as the starting point right here. So notice how now this is aligned here versus on the other side. So you can kind of set like where that offset and where that cut is going to be. The other thing you could do is say that you wanted to, whoops, I'm going to click out of this and I'm going to undo it. And so one cool function that's in here is I don't necessarily like that I had to cut that off on one side. Well, what you could do is you could just draw an edge in here. You could select the face and then these two edges, and then click on generate, well, notice how it used that central point as your kind of starting point. Well, that means that this was centered in here like this. So using the orientation function of the face and the two edges gives you a lot of control over how these are placed on a surface. Now, let's say that we wanted to create something like this, and I'm just going to draw a simple rectangular shape like so, and I want to apply a texture to it. Well, there's options in here for texture alignment. So what those texture alignment is going to do is that's going to basically set the direction that the texture faces. And so the way that we can set the texture is we can click in here, and I'm going to pick a stone material because I'm assuming this is going to be some kind of a tile. So I'm just going to pick this stone material right here. I'm going to make it smaller, so maybe like 1 foot, like this. Well, now if I select this face, and I generate it, notice how it takes the material that was applied on here and it applies it to each one of these tiles, which is fine, but this is a little bit repetitive, right? So if you look at this right here, this is basically got the same marks for each one of these tiles. Well, the cool thing about this, and maybe we'll create a copy over here so we can look at both of these, right? So if I generate this one right here, it's just going to apply that texture. But if I do it over here, and I set my texture alignment, notice how I can randomize that texture alignment when I generate this like so. And so what that's going to do is that's going to randomize where that texture goes on this surface so that you don't have that tiling effect that we have over here. And so another thing that I think a lot of us have kind of run into is, let's say we wanted to do something different. Let's say we wanted to create more of a deck, right? So we could actually use this in order to generate a deck across this surface. And so one other function, and by the way, you could mess around with this to almost generate like a deck generator. I'm not necessarily saying I would do that, but it's kind of an interesting idea. But beyond that, where this texture piece can get really interesting is if you've ever tried to create something with a whole bunch of repeating shapes like this. And I'm just going to apply a wood material to this surface right here. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So maybe like 1 foot from a size standpoint. You know that if you don't have any kind of like random offset, and then you generate something like this, it just can look really repetitive depending on the material that you use, right? You start getting this tiling where you've got this like same thing happening over and over again. Well, in this case, what you can do is you can select this, and I'm just going to go with a longitudinal texture alignment. Well, you can randomly offset how that texture is applied to a surface by selecting these options right here. So if I click on generate now, notice how this randomly placed those textures in here. So you don't have that tiling in here anymore. So if you use the longitudinal and the random offset in here, it's not going to change the texture direction, right? So if you've got like wood grains or something like that, this is something that's really interesting because it's not going to change the direction that the wood grains are going. What it's going to do instead is it's going to randomly offset them in the X and Y directions the way that it's placed on the surface. So you get that kind of like randomization in here, which I think is really cool. All right, so overall, I think this is a super cool extension. Definitely try the free version, but if you like any of those other patterns, I mean, this is one of the more intuitive extensions for this kind of thing that I've tried. I'm actually really liking it, but I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. What do you think about this tool? I just love having that conversation with you guys. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.